What's up, everybody? It's the 30s perspective. Whoop, 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 whoop. Today we have B Mike.
Yep, what's up?
What's up? And we have our special guest, Hillary.
Hey.
And I'm Sherelle Unique. We're waiting for Alicia to join us. Shout out to Los. Today's episode is about religion. Well, the benefits of religion. That's tonight's episode. The benefits of religion.
Are you emphasizing the benefits?
Yeah, I'm putting extra emphasis on benefits. And we'll do another episode, on religion as well. But tonight is about the benefits. So we're gonna start with our icebreaker. And tonight's icebreaker is share the worst whooping you ever received. What did you do? What was the whooping like? What happened afterwards? Yeah.
Who's going first?
I don't know what I did.
The worst whooping was the whooping that I got.
She blacked out. She only remember. She's like, I don't know what happened. I just woke up.
It was from my dad.
Yours is from your dad?
I think it's the only whooping I remember him getting from him. He only had to whoop us.
You must have motivated him pretty good on that one then.
One time. And that was it.
He made his statement.
He did.
What did you do?
Mess with my dad. When my dad got mad, he got darker.
Ooh.
He got darker, and you didn't mess with him, and he would use his middle finger to point. And he'd get loud, and it'd be like, because my dad is from New York City, so he's from the Bronx, Queens. So he like went straight Brooklyn, Queens. You'd be like, oh dang. Woke the beast. But yeah, I had gone to a friend's house and my mom told me not to. And I was real bold. I let my friend's mom come and pick me up.
Oh, you really didn't care.
My mom called her mom and was like, Hillary ain't supposed to be there, and came and got me. When I got home, that was a wrap. It was a wrap.
Did you get on punishment too?
Was I on punishment? I don't even think I got punishment. I think the whooping was
I think it needs to be either or. Like, you can't.
You don't get both. You get toe up.
It needs to be either or.
Sometimes
and your parents don't even have to. They don't even have to tell you to go to your room. You just go.
You just go.
Yeah, right.
You need to get over what just happened to you. So it's like,
How old were you?
Let me see. I think I was in. I think I was in middle school. So I was like 13, something like that.
Yeah, you were testing it out.
I was. I never did it again, ever.
My grandpa whooped me. I feel like he only whooped me that one time. Usually when a dude that goes, they go. And you get the hint. I don't know what he was telling me to do. It was something he kept telling me, and I was real young. I don't know what he was telling me, but he kept repeating himself. I do know that much. And I know he picked me up.
That was the problem. You remember what he said. You can't remember now.
But look.
That's why you got your ass whooped.
Look. Bet you I just naturally don't do it. Whatever it was. From that moment, I bet you I just naturally don't do whatever it was. But he picked me up like I was a trash bag. Like he had my feet and my hands, because I was real young. He picked me up like this and whooped me in the air.
Ooh.
Oh, it was bad. And I don't even know what I was doing, but I swear I won't do it again. Brandon.
All right, so see, the most memorable whoopings I remember were for like against other people. They weren't. I just observed the whoopings. They were like, "Oh, it's bad." But probably it was the night I forgot to do dishes and went to bed, and he got me while I was sleeping. Like, there's no bigger surprise than that though. Like, you knocked out like sugar plum fairies, and then like you get tore up.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Alicia.
Hey.
But the most memorable ass whooping was not my own, and that was I was hanging with my cousins, and we were at my grandma's house, and like they was, we was playing Uno and stuff. Now, as a kid, I was always like that real chill.
Trouble.
Like, no, I ain't never got in trouble. Out of all my cousins, they would be like, "Oh, the goody goody." I was that dude, and people made fun of me being too good. The only reason that was is because if I got in trouble for something one time, then I knew I got to figure out a much smarter way to get away with it. I was like, I had the Ocean's 11 that joint, whatever was next. I was like, I'm not getting caught the same way twice. That's just stupid. No, all right. So I'm sitting there, the kids is loud. Grandma's like, "Yo, y'all need to settle down." Like, but no one's hearing her. I'm seeing her. I'm hearing and seeing my grandma over there, right? And she said it about 3-4 times, and then she didn't say nothing. She's talking to my parents, and she slowly walked towards the Hot Wheels track. And she picked it up. She didn't say shit. She didn't make no noise. I don't know how all like 10 of my cousins sensed it. She picked it up, and everybody froze. I don't think the TV went off when she picked it up. I remember, no, I think the TV shut off. She just picked it up. Everybody, and then they scattered, and she was just whipping asses. She was just hitting. Hey, except for me, though.
That racetrack hurt.
Hey, and hers was like almost white from all the bends and shit that happened from whooping ass because she had the one track. It was orange. It used to be orange. You could tell it used to be orange.
My grandma had a plastic spoon. She used to use a plastic spoon. She started out with a wooden one, but then somebody hit it. She never could find it. Then she went on the plastic.
We lived in front of a river.
Had to go pick our own switches.
Yeah. We had willow trees, and they went and they grabbed the switch off. They told you, and if you came back with a small switch, you had to go.
You was getting beat even worse.
Exactly. If they had to go get a switch, then they would go take your switch and get their switch and intertwine them together.
Oh, sheesh.
You gotta braid it in the water.
That's country.
My grandma did that anyways. My grandma did not play. My grandma, because we had there was a couple bushes. We called them the switch bushes. We had them in our backyard. And my grandma had one on the side of her house. And my grandma used to braid hers all the time. There was no picking with my grandma. My grandma went outside. She pulled them leaves out. One stroke. Shoot. All them leaves is gone. She used to braid them.
She would leave the leaves on?
No. She in one swoop. She'd pull them all off.
Oh, pull them
off.
That.
You know how you could pull off the leaf. She would just take her hand right at the top and just pull it all the way across and down. All them leaves would come off in one stroke. She knew what she was doing.
I feel like if you get a whooping with the leaves on, it's just disrespectful.
Hey.
Alicia, what's the worst whooping you ever got? What were you doing?
Well, I thought I was grown, girl. I thought I was grown. So I was 17 and I was working at Burger King and it was Christmas time. And I wanted to go to my friend's Christmas party after I got off work. But I don't know if I was grounded or getting in trouble or my mom just said no. I can't remember, honestly. But my mom said I wasn't going. And I said, what you mean? Like, I did everything I was supposed to do. Like, I was like, it's right after work. I said, my friend's going to take me. I was like, you don't have to pick me up or nothing. I'm going to just go. And I said, no, you're coming straight home. I said, okay, bet. So I went to work. And my mom came to pick me up, and I wasn't there. And she called me and called me and called me and called me and called me. I just shut my phone on. I was at the party.
Oh.
I was trying to be grown. I was trying to be grown. All right, leave me alone. I was trying to be grown. So, my mom went through my phone statements, and she knew who I hung out with. And one by one, my friends' phones started ringing at the party.
Damn.
And
she went like
Andy
FBI on.
like, your mom just called me. And she was like, she was like, I was like, what'd you tell her? She was like, I don't know where you're at. I didn't see you. And my mom knew. So then she called my friend Amber. Amber didn't answer her phone. She called my girl Steph. Steph didn't answer her phone, especially after we figured out it was my mom. So my mom called the house phone of the place I was at, because she knew I was at Amber's parents' house at the Christmas party. And me, I'm like, yes, her mom's gonna let us drink, like, and we were staying all at the house. So like, I was geeked. I was ready to go. Like, so I don't know. Listen, I still to this day do not know what my mom said on that phone to that woman. But she's on the phone with her, and she's like, oh, well, she can stay. I'll bring her home in the morning. And then she got quiet, and then she hung up the phone. And she said, you have to go. I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I guess I gotta go. Like, I was like, well, why? She was like, 'cause your mom said, yeah. Basically, my mom was just like, so, I have a feeling my mom told her that she had all of us underage kids drinking at her house, and she would call the cops if I was not to return home, like immediately. So my friend's boyfriend took me home, and I get in the house, and I have learned over the years that when my mom is calm, I'm getting ready to get fucked up.
So wait. So when you came in the house, though, how'd you come in? Like nothing happened, or like?
I came in the house. I just walked through the door, and
we're like, well,
my mom
was now.
You was feeling yourself,
girl. I sure was. I thought I was just too grown. So I walked through the door. My mom was like sitting on the couch. She's watching TV. She didn't even look at me yet. She's sitting on the couch watching TV, and she said, give me your phone. And I said, no. I was like, I paid the bill.
You
I
said
this is
what?
my phone. You can't have this.
This is like a horror movie.
That's true, though.
It's like a scary story. Like,
if you paying the bill,
Everybody's all gasping. Like,
is this Halloween?
So, my mom was like, she said,
so you a legend so far. You're a legend so far.
She's like, so you're not gonna give me your phone? I said, she said, okay, go to your
Legendary
room.
status right there.
Like, whatever. Like, and my room was in the basement at the time, so I was like, whatever. Like, I'll go. Well, I hit the floor. Next thing I know, I was at the bottom of the steps.
Wait.
Your mom did that?
And just the life out of the back of my head.
So wait a second.
She punched me in the back of my head.
So,
like,
you turned your head on your mom.
It's like off the couch and everything. Yes.
And you go to walk down the steps.
I turned around and she hopped the couch. Yes. And Hillary,
and she
you know how my house is
punched
set
the
up.
hell out of you down the steps.
The thing about Lisa's mom, her mom's not big. She's petite.
Oh, but my mom, she punched me in the back of my head. I ended up on the floor in the basement. Then next thing you know, she is literally on top of me, just punching me in my head. She said, "Oh, you ain't got no good sense. I'm gonna punch it into your head." And she just on top of my head.
You're supposed to play dead at the bottom of the steps.
Well,
you took your mom
I'm not
off,
the type of
like
person that hit my mom
her
back.
off.
I would have never.
Just play dead at the bottom of the steps.
You gotta protect your head. Gotta protect your face. So you gotta like, right?
Steps.
No, not the face, not the face. So
Is
I
that when you
covered
had
up.
that room off the side, leash?
Mm-hmm.
That was in the landing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Leash. Look at Sherelle holding her chest.
So let's just say I was grounded, not only from like everything, but like even work. She called my job and told them I wasn't allowed to come back until further.
Oh.
So she said having a job.
Sherelle laughing her ass off over there. That's messed up.
Your mom was not playing at all.
No,
She wasn't. I didn't even think she had that in her.
She was super mad. Like I think that was I haven't made her the maddest. My sister did. My older sister made her the maddest. But yeah, I made my mom mad that day. But yeah, so I told y'all, I keep trying to tell y'all know Sister Cynthia. Y'all don't have no idea who my mother is. Y'all don't know her. No. She crazy.
You was legendary for a second though, man. You're like, no, I'm going to the underage drinking party. I pay for this phone, and then you turned your back. See,
I know.
You never supposed to take your eyes off the enemy, yo.
Your mom said you gonna learn today.
I know that's right.
I was grown.
She sure did.
I did. I thought I was grown. I'm like, and I was like, at a job, I paid for everything. At that point, I was paying for everything. I paid for my cell phone, I paid for my clothes, I paid for my lunch, I paid for everything.
Pay for those medical bills.
So then let me ask y'all, because I'm the only one on here that don't have no kids. So share any epic whooping stories you had to give out.
Oh, I got one for you. And it's about my youngest one, man. And he is super bold in his personality in general. But what ended up happening was, it was the same time that the movie Sing come out. Remember the movie Sing, the animals and stuff? And his favorite song was I'm Still Standing by Elton John. And he was singing all the time. I'm still standing there. Right. So he decided in the middle of the night one time that he was going to have an egg fight with his brothers.
Egg?
Yeah, eggs. So, I mean, he's like 4. He was like 4 at the time, somewhere near like 4 years old. The extra problem was that his brothers didn't know it was time for an egg war. They were knocked out to sleep. So he snuck down to the refrigerator, got the eggs, and were just pelting them at his sleep brothers. So they wake up covered in egg. There's egg all over the place. All right, man. So, of course, I'm woken up. Not only pissed at him for doing it, but I got to clean up egg all over the bedroom. All right. So, he gets his whooping. He's crying. Now, he didn't know. Like, I had to stop myself because it was disrespectful. I had to stop myself from laughing because he was singing to himself to comfort. He's crying. He's trying to comfort himself by singing his favorite song. But his favorite song, I'm staying. Like, it was real bold as fuck. And I was like, that's funny. But I'm going to have to laugh about this later.
Not every time you hear a song, you're going to be thinking about that.
Of course I do, man. Because I'm one of the most boldest things. You start singing, I'm still standing after you get your whooping? No.
My friend's daughter was the worst. My friend Kita, her daughter, I went up to visit her, and she had just had her other baby. I think she was like a couple months old. And Saija was what, 2 or 3? I think she was 3. And she had told, like, Kita had raised her voice, and she was like, I told you to get up these toys. So, and she never came to get them up. So Kita went in the room to get her, and she started screaming, are you the man? Are you the man? Are you the man? And I'm like, Kita, what is she yelling? She was like, oh, she's yelling, help me in Spanish. From Dory.
Why was she doing
from Dora
that?
the Explorer.
Oh, Dora.
Started screaming it. And I'm like, because I was like, she was like, Keita, and I just busted out laughing. I'm like, Keita, she was like, girl, she crazy. She was like, ain't nobody doing nothing to her. She was like, Sayesha was one of those kids where, like, if you raised your voice in like an authoritative, manner, she didn't have to do anything else with her. There was no whoopings that needed to happen. She was scared of the raised voice. So when she started screaming at Udemy, I laughed. So I'm like, what is she saying? Like, what is she doing? Like,
watching Dora the Explorer.
Me and
that was enough for her.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary, have you ever had to give out an epic beat down?
You better not be beating my babies.
Look, because when you a single parent, especially when you a single mom, you got to represent and let their kids know. I don't care who you think I am right now, but let me tell you something. Don't let me reach back and pull out who I was. So, like, my sons, I tell everybody. So, my oldest son, he's a football player. So, he's big, So I used to like when boys get big, you can't be whooping them. You got to just go to blows. You just got to just square up.
They gotta see how crazy you are in that moment.
Man, when kids try you and they test you, you just go to another dimension, and then you have to like. It's almost like you got, how they say, I put an S on my chest. That's really when you put the S on your chest, because you're going to have to handle somebody because they think they big enough and grown enough to handle you, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I had to throw some blows.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then with my daughters, well, not all my daughters, one of my daughters,
I can only imagine which one that is.
She can challenge me, man. I snatched her up and I slammed her right. And I said, listen, let me tell you something. Jesus is awesome. God is amazing. We praise him. Hallelujah. And thank you, Lord. But tonight, in this very moment, you're not going to get bold with me. You're going to do what I tell you to do. So, and then if you think you ain't, I can move you, and I can show you.
Don't be treating my girl like that, yo.
Girl. Now that's like past tense, lately I haven't had to. I've been blessed with my kids in their teenage years. I mean, in their entering into teenage years, it was very trying, but like now since they're older, it's like they know because I already handled and dealt with them. So, but not only that, they matured enough,
Yeah,
but like
kids are like really. I hate to say well behaved because they are much older, but I guess that's the only way. I guess I can say what I'm trying to say. Cause I'm used to working with the ones that don't want to do nothing. They don't want to go to college. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to go get up and clean up. They don't want to take a shower. I work with those ones. So when I see yours, I'm like, oh yes. These type of kids still exist.
Yeah, well, they know. And then they know that if they do get out of pocket, I'm going to appear. Somebody going to rub that lamp, and I'm going to appear. And if I got to appear, I tell people all the time, I used to go to the school. I used to have my hand out with me when I went to the school, to the parent-teacher conferences. I gave them a handout of all my contact information. So if something did happen, you didn't have no excuse for not to contact me. Yeah. And not only that, but when I went to the school, everybody knew who I was. So they do not to act any type of way. But I always told them, look, I'm a powerful, silent force. But if you make me become president, I will not disappear. Yeah. So make me come out. I'm here. Ain't no put me back in. Ain't no put me back in. You done rub the lamp. I appeared. Make your wish. What?
That's it. That sounds intense.
But you gotta be like that.
Gotta be still know who.
So y'all, I had to and I don't do this, but I had to whoop my friend's
Not
son.
you, Sherelle.
Oh no, I'm a totally different person when it comes to like watching my kids, working with my kids, like totally different. I don't want to say I'm very strict, but I start off kind, and then it's like I said, don't rub the lamp. Like you said, don't rub the lamp. So she had went to the store, and he was like 3 or 4, and she left him there while she ran to the store, maybe to get like some cigarettes or something. I don't know. My phone was dead. So he's like, get out my mom's house. Get out my mom's room. And he starts climbing from the bed to the dresser.
What?
Down to the vent and climbing and taking the broom and doing stuff and throwing stuff. He started throwing stuff towards me. He started doing like a type thing.
What?
Like he was wowing.
Yes,
and I couldn't call her. I couldn't call her. And so by the time once he got to that type stuff in my direction, now nothing got on me. But when you get into that kind of spitting, like you're spitting towards me, I'm gonna pop your butt. I got you gave me no choice. I'm telling you not to climb on all of these things. That I can't really stop you. I'm gonna try to stand by you. I'm gonna use proximity. I'm gonna try to get you to not do it. I'm not gonna touch you. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to trying to spit at me,
that's why I had to leave Family Links.
I had to.
Lisa.
So I did, and the minute she walked in the door, I said, "Look, I had to spank him. I had no choice." Huh?
That's why I had to leave my last job and go a different direction. Social work.
That's why, and I'll leave it right there.
After
yep.
The one tried me, I ended up getting a scratch on my face and all of that. And then a couple months later, the other one tried me, and I couldn't do anything back because she was 4 months pregnant. So I really wanted to slam her, but I couldn't. I was more worried about my clearances than I was my hair being pulled out in the front of my head or my torn labrum in my shoulder. I was protecting her baby because I don't think I'd have been able to live with myself if something happened to her, if I slammed her. Because the girl was, probably like maybe 110 pound wet, 80, if that. And she's little, she was tall.
So she was pregnant. If
I wanted to, I just could have picked her. Oh yeah, she grabbed me. So she started doing that whole fighting stuff when we were sitting in the office because she didn't like the answer that I gave her. Now at the unit, I was in charge. When my boss wasn't there, I was the team lead. So everything went through me. And when I told her, like, I was having such a good day too. I just went and got Subway. I was sitting there talking. None of the kids was on the unit at that point. I had kids out at work. I had kids out on an outing. She was there because she just got there to us. So I was like, all right, cool. She could sit in the living room and watch TV. I'm going to eat my sandwich. The other staff was in there with her. She came in the office on that rah-rah shit. Yeah. Oh, I want to call my boss. And I was like, you're not calling her. I was like, it's such and such time at night. 1, 2. Once she's gone for the day. You could talk to her. You could talk to her. You'll be here all by yourself. Yeah, she got all rah-rah with me. And I told the one lady, I said, get her out of here. Like, I'm not dealing with her no more. So she started. So while she was walking out, I was walking with them because I was going to close the door behind because I wasn't with it. And all the kids knew I didn't play. So she grabbed me. She reached over to the one lady and grabbed me by my hair, like the front part. And like at that time, I didn't wear braids and stuff. So she had me right here by my hair, and she grabbed me and she yanked me towards her. And she's taller than me, so she was like punching down on the top of my head. So, but I had her by the waist, and I had just had her pulled into me. So you're not gonna do nothing else. Like you're gonna punch me on the top of my head, but you ain't gonna do nothing else. So I gently laid her on the floor. Yeah, I gently laid her on the floor. That's what the camera said. I gently laid her on the floor, and I just told the one lady, I said, get her off my hair before I punch her in her face. I said, because that's next. So yeah, I went outside. I had to end up going to the hospital at night, and I still have a torn labrum in my shoulder.
Could not be me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more.
Don't
I'll
worry.
talk more about
If I wanted to, I could have reached out and touched her. Yeah, if I wanted to, I could have reached out and touched her outside of work if I wanted to, because she's from Uniontown. Let's just put it that way. And everybody that knows me knows that I got family out there. So if I wanted to reach out and touch her, I would have, but I was like, no, she's a kid. I'm not going to even do that. You know, she'll get her. She was pregnant at the time. Don't worry.
And if you're holding her by her waist while she's pregnant, it's only so much you can do in that situation. Because you're right there direct with the baby.
Right. So I let it be. If I wanted to, I could have. I'm a lot bigger than her and stronger than her. Yeah, she was taller than me, but strength-wise, I got this grown woman strength. Trust me. These little kids think they tough until
that makes her the idiot, man. That makes her the idiot.
Hey, but Alicia, you came out better in the end, though. You came out way better.
She done pushed me in the right direction, because if it wasn't for her, it's a blessing in disguise. I went back to school. I'm in a different field in social work. Thank you, Jesus, because she pushed me in the right direction. Because after that, I was like, I gotta go. I can't be here no more. I cannot be at Family Links no more. I cannot be here with these kids. I'm gonna end up putting my hands on one of these people's kids, and I'm like, I'm not like that. I never have been, but
they will push you to do that, and you be like, man, this is not what I want to do. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the main topic, and I'll talk more about that topic on Saturday.
I got you.
Yep. Yeah. Spare the rod, spoil the child, right?
Yes, so for those who are watching, we are talking about spanking. We're not talking about child abuse. Somebody that's getting it misconstrued, because there's gonna be one somewhere.
I was abused. I don't know what you talking about.
You was abused. Alicia was abused that day.
Me, girl.
You was handled, girl. You wasn't abused. You was handled that day, okay? Your mama took it from young woman to woman.
I'm just saying across
the
board.
Does it count as child abuse? Does it count as child abuse if you want to act grown? I don't know if does that still count?
You know what's crazy though? And Sherelle, I'll lead us into our topic. So my cousin, and she gonna be mad if she watched this and find out that I told the story, but I don't care. So my cousin, my pastor, he did not play. Bishop Bailey did not play with the kids. So my cousin was outside fighting in the front of the church. This was back when, like, you know, we did conventions.
I think I know what you're about to tell.
We had conventions. So I always stayed with my uncle and my aunt, which their house was like, the house was here and the church was here. So like you walked across the parking lot literally to the church. So my cousin was outside fighting one of the Woodies. One of the Woodies. I think it was Dominique.
You ain't supposed to say their names, Alicia. Don't say their names.
Alicia laying it all on the table today.
So
don't say their names.
Listen, this is leading us into our next topic. Oh, I'm gonna use names. So Denise was outside fighting. Bishop came out. Now, Bishop didn't come out with like a belt or nothing. He came out with the whole damn lamp. Nope, he came out with the lamp, with the extension cord still attached to it. And he whooped her behind all the way into the house with the cord. Yes.
With a lamp?
In one hand. Yeah, the lamp in one hand and the extension cord from the lamp and the other. Girl, I guess he couldn't find a belt or nothing. No, he took the whole lamp, yanked it out the wall, took the extension cord, and was whooping her.
He grabbed the first thing he saw.
Sure did. Right. Right. So just saying.
Yeah, but we talking about Rochester, New York.
That's child abuse.
I don't know if y'all know about Rochester, New York.
Yes.
I don't know a lot.
It's rough.
You gonna find out tonight, girl. You gonna find out these next couple weeks. You gonna find out about it.
I don't want to know about a lamp whooping.
Oh, girl, my pastor, I'm telling you, he did not play. It was either you were getting whooped with the lamp or you was getting whooped with the words.
Hopefully the child now sees the light. I hope they were enlightened.
You gonna see the light. One way or another.
I think they were. I think she got really enlightened that day. That day. So yes.
Well, that leads us to our next topic. Religion. So, first question is, what religion did you grow up with, and what religion are you today? Like, what do you practice